Yo, what up, everybody? Okay, so I had to wear my lame Democrat lesbian glasses for this, just because we got a Anderson Pooper right here from the Commie News Network, and he's not doing the report, but Crying Van Jones, Fredo Van Jones, the guy that's always crying every time he's on the news. This guy, the reason we call him Fredo and Judas is because when Trump got into office, he came crying to President Trump, crying, "We need to let black prisoners go free." And this was a prison reform bill that he went to Trump with. And because Trump is an actual good person, he said, "You know what? I'll work with you on this. This is a good idea." And what the bill did was it was to let people that were in jail, specifically people that suffered from Joe Biden's crime bill, like people that directly suffered as a result from his racist bill. The bill was letting people that had getting charges, like if you had like a pound of weed, they were giving like 20 years to people that had like a pound of weed. It was like ridiculous drug charges. So they did the prison reform, and it was a success. And then this fool goes after Trump does this for Crying Van Jones. He goes and stabs him in the back and talks trash about him every chance he can get, and calls Trump a racist and all this stuff. Why would Trump do this if he was a racist? What sense does that make? But that's libtard logic. That is libtard logic. So let's get into this. So he interviews a couple kangs and queens, some MAGA kangs and queens, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't get the news he was expecting. Now they want you to believe that Trump voters are regretting their vote, which is just a complete fabrication and a lie. So let's get into this.
Report he met with a small group of black voters, a man and woman from South Carolina and another woman from North Carolina, all of whom voted for President Trump. CNN's exit polling shows Mr. Trump got 8% of the black vote in 2016, and that grew slightly into the teens over the next two elections.
Boom.
Here's Van's report from Greenville, South Carolina.
The place looks awesome too, by the way.
You do well.
And here we are in South Carolina with 3 Trump voters. You weren't always a Republican.
No, actually,
3 MAGA kangs and quangs.
I come from a family that was like super Democratic. My first time voting, I voted Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden.
What about Trump appealed to you?
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, part of it is he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I like authenticity.
Facts.
You voted for Obama, and then you voted for Hillary.
When Democrats try to be authentic, they just come off as lizard people. Like they just you think you're talking to a straight up NPC bot. Like that's why they can't do long form podcasts. They can only do it with people that they're not adversarial to, because they're just not human.
In 2016, but 2020 you voted for Donald Trump. What made the change?
I began listening to someone. Her name is Candace Owens.
Woo!
And I read her book, and it just opened my eyes to maybe he's not this person that I have been led to believe that he was.
So you voted against Trump in 2016.
Yes.
But then in 2020 you voted for him?
Absolutely.
Why?
I saw how things were going during his first term, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was pleased with what was happening. I saw the economy getting better. I saw country relations in certain countries getting better.
What are some things that he's doing that you do like?
For me, I like the border. I just don't like the idea of someone coming here illegally and getting benefits that can serve my community.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why I support him.
These policies that Joe Biden had, letting all the illegals in, they predominantly affect black and brown communities. They drive their wages lower. They take up their resources. They affect black and brown communities the most. White people, that's why I see the white people, these white libtards, they don't care. This doesn't affect where they live. They live in white liberals. They're rich. They live in nice areas, nice neighborhoods. They're not dealing with the problems these people are dealing with on a daily basis.
Border policy.
When you think about the border, you think about people coming here who are getting more help than people who live here and who were born here.
Yeah. And I got that perspective not from news channels. I got it from social media,
Boom.
TikTok, is like a holy grail. We even see it with the
Nobody
things that we
trusts you.
learn about the United States government. Outside of the United States, people are showing Americans, hey, look at what's going on. Do y'all know that your government is doing this? Have you seen this? Have you looked at it from this perspective?
You know, people, when they think about a Trump voter, they usually think about like a white dude with like a red hat on and a pickup truck. And y'all
What the hell's he talking about? Like, these people are the most racist people ever. This guy went on TV and he talked about the great replacement theory and how it was a good thing. So when liberals do it, it's a good thing. But when anybody else does it, it's racist, right?
not that at all. So Donald Trump's team went in, they took down Harriet Tubman's picture for a quick minute. They're trying to like knock out the black museums. What does that have to do with the price of eggs and how does that impact you?
It's not what they're
In some
doing.
ways, it's a slap in the face. In other ways, I don't care.
Boom!
I care more about how I'm going to take care of my children.
I don't think the average American cares about that. I know I'm frankly,
Yep.
I am sick and
They don't.
tired of seeing black people sit there and complain about something, but not taking action and steps to actually try to change things in an appropriate manner.
Under the Trump and
Big facts. Shout out to that queen right there, dude. She's not woke, she's awake.
Biden administration, they came to certain agreements with police departments to be less brutal toward the black community.
No.
Trump is now
That's not, what they did was they just lowered their standards. I should do a video on this one in California. The police are being trained to just open themselves up to being potentially harmed, and that's how they do it. They literally will just turn their back to people that are assaulting them. It's insane.
did all that. How does that help the black community?
I have a lot of issues with police reform and just with how police officers are treated as a whole. My husband is currently going through the process to become a police officer.
She sees
The
it
amount of
firsthand.
hatred that cops get, even the best ones,
Yep.
I think has become a huge problem because it has been, especially around election times when it definitely comes out of like, oh no, the cops are bad. The cops hate you because you're black. They're immediately deemed as evil.
This man is talking about running for a third term. Now, what do you think about that?
The third term, for me, absolutely not. I think it's at the end of these 4 years, it's time to move on.
This is a prime example
See, I agree with that, and this MAGA queen is going to explain it.
of him trolling people because people have
Yep.
said, like, oh, if he gets in the office, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to try to run for a third term. So he's like, okay, y'all think I'm going to do that? I'm going to mess with y'all and say this to take y'all out.
I thought you loved this man because he's so odd.
Nah, see, he knows that the Judas Van Jones here, he knows that CNN's base is so stupid and libtarded that they can use that as a story to bash Trump and say he's a dictator. See, they know he's not gonna. It would have to go through Congress. Congress would have to approve a new bill allowing him to do that, and it would never pass. Like, these people are just.
And he's such a
But you
truth
need
teller.
to know the difference between somebody trolling
Yep.
somebody, and this is a prime example of him being a troll.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump again, yes or no?
Yes, I would.
Facts.
Now, in the future, I am not a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican. If there were a Democratic candidate who was more aligned for me, then I would vote Democrat.
If you go back
Yeah.
in time, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
Yes.
I think I might know the answer on this next one.
Yeah, you already know. She's the best one.
It's immediately yes. No, I'm sorry.
If you had to do it all over again, would you vote for Donald Trump, yes or no?
1,000% absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And Van Jones joins me now. It's interesting, most of
Okay, that's all we needed to see. I just love seeing crying Van Jones. I'm surprised he didn't start crying because he's such a lame. What a lame, bro. All right, well, let me know what you think. I just loved seeing him get his whole narrative shattered right to his face. All right, peace out, everybody. Have a good weekend.